This is the Sabbath School lesson for the second quarter, 2021.
Lesson 10 for May 29 to June 4, The New Covenant, read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Thursday, June 3, The New Covenant Priest. The book of Hebrews places a heavy emphasis on Jesus as our high priest in the heavenly sanctuary. In fact, the clearest exposition of the New Covenant found in the New Testament appears in the book of Hebrews with its emphasis on Christ as high priest. This is no coincidence. Christ's heavenly ministry is intricately tied to the promises of the New Covenant. The Old Testament sanctuary service was the means by which the Old Covenant truths were taught. It centered on sacrifice and mediation. Animals were slain and their blood was mediated by the priests. These, of course, were all symbols of the salvation found only in Jesus. There was no salvation found in them, in and of themselves. Read Hebrews chapter 10, verse 4. Why is there no salvation found in the death of these animals? Why is the death of an animal not sufficient to bring salvation? Hebrews 10, verse 4. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and goats could take away sins. All these sacrifices and the priestly mediation that accompanied them met their fulfillment in Christ. Jesus became the sacrifice upon which the blood of the new covenant is placed. Christ's blood ratified the new covenant, making the Sinaitic covenant and its sacrifices old or void. The true sacrifice has been made once and for all, as we read in Hebrews 9:26. He then would have had to suffer often since the foundation of the world, but now, once at the end of the ages, he has appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. Once Christ died, there was no more need for any animals to be slain. The earthly sanctuary services had fulfilled their function. Read Matthew 27, verse 51, which tells how the veil in the earthly sanctuary was torn when Jesus died. How does that event help us to understand that the earthly sanctuary had been superseded? Matthew 27, verse 51. Then behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from the top to bottom. The earth quaked, and the rocks were split. Tied, of course, to these animal sacrifices was the priestly ministry, those Levites who offered and mediated the sacrifices in the earthly sanctuary on behalf of the people. Once the sacrifices ended, the need for their ministry ended as well. Everything had been fulfilled in Jesus, who now ministers his own blood in the sanctuary in heaven, as we read in Hebrews chapter 8, verses 1 to 5. Now this is the main point of the things we are saying. We have such a high priest who is seated at the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the true sanctuary, and of the true tabernacle which the Lord erected, and not man. For every high priest is appointed to offer both gifts and sacrifices. Therefore, it is necessary that this one also have something to offer. For if he were on earth, he would not be a priest, since there are priests who offer the gifts according to the law, who serve the copy and shadow of the heavenly things, as Moses was divinely instructed when he was about to make the tabernacle. For he said, "See that you make all these things according to the pattern shown you on the mountain." Hebrews stresses Christ as high priest in heaven, having entered by shedding his own blood, as we read in Hebrews 9:12, not with the blood of goats and calves, but with his own blood he entered the most holy place once for all, having obtained eternal redemption, mediating on our behalf. This is the foundation of the hope and promise we have in the new covenant. So, to finish today, how does it make you feel, understanding that even now Jesus is ministering his blood in heaven on your behalf? How much confidence and assurance does that give you regarding salvation? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. It's supported by the Sabbath School Department and Hope Channel Australia and is rebroadcast by Christian Record Services and through podcasts at It Is Written in the United States, Hope Channel Germany, and through Apple iTunes and SoundCloud. Remember, God is always faithful.